transfer portal window for spring has come and gone, to get into it anyway. And we thought we'd take a dive into it to see, is this team better for it, or did we lose more than we got?
Right.
I guess one way to put it, did we win it or did we lose
Right. Is this team better or worse?
it? So before we dive into that, thanks guys for spending a few moments of your day with us. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscription button and definitely hit that notification bell along with it. Open up all your notifications on that because, man, YouTube does not do a good job of letting you know when we got another video out. So I always call it like peanut butter and jelly. They go together, but another famous person's called it peas and carrots. So yeah, also, man, if you like the thing, hit that button, let us know. It'd do us a big favor on that. And leave a comment and let's talk about it. With that said, Bob, let's look. Well, what did we lose to begin with? I guess easiest way to say.
Yeah, I think if you're going to start, Tim, any kind of discussion about this thing, I think you got to start with the DB room, and that's will large part decide whether or not we come out ahead in this thing. We lost 8 guys in the portal in game 3.
That's a massive number.
It is.
8 in a single group. That's
yeah. But, you know, some of them was big time players. I mean, important players.
Well,
starters.
I'm not sure
starters.
Big time player in there.
Right. I agree with that. And some that was probably wasn't going to play much. So, first, let's just go over the list of the guys that left, Tim. Christian Conyer, Warren Burrell, Brandon Turnage, Tamarion McDonald, Wesley Walker, Danico Slaughter, Jack Luttrell, and Deshaun Rucker. The 3 people that's the biggest importance of that was Tamarion McDonald, Wesley Walker, Danico Slaughter.
A lot of starts put among those 3 guys.
It was. Now, the 3 guys we had coming in is Jamon McCoy, Jalen McMurray, and Jacoby Thomas. I had to think, Tim, some of these guys were somewhat encouraged to move on.
That's
probably. Some was wanting more money, and we felt like they wasn't worth the money they was asking for.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Some of them wasn't told there's no money.
That's a possibility too. And we felt like we could get somebody, better for cheaper.
Yeah, or for maybe not even cheaper. I don't know.
Maybe for the same, right?
Yeah, but they just thought there'd be money better spent.
Well,
with other individuals.
At the end, Heupel, it's about winning ball games. I don't think he let people go. He didn't think he had people coming in that was better, or at least even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just can't believe he put his job on the line.
Right. This wasn't a case where 12 different colleges was coming in after our DBs and just prying them away from us.
Right.
Because that happens sometimes, and that just happens.
Yeah.
This wasn't the case with that DB room.
No.
No tears were shed, I don't believe. They might have been a little surprised 8 of them left.
Right.
But they were ready to go out into the portal and get some fresh blood in here.
Right. Well, let's talk about the guys that come in. Jamon McCoy, we feel like I've everything I've heard, very talented, a true sophomore, a very good athlete, potential NFL type player, but he's young, very raw.
Very raw. He came to Oregon State as a wide receiver, and he wound up switching over to DB, and he made freshman all conference on basically talent alone.
Yeah, from what I understand is they basically had him playing man coverage because he was zones was too complicated for him.
Yeah,
because he'd never really played the position.
Yeah, so the talent level with McCoy, I believe, easily eclipses anything that we lost. Probably the thing, if you looked at all 11 players, the guy that stands out to me is Jamar McCoy, talent-wise.
I agree with that.
Now, the other 2, quite honestly, until we see any of these guys in orange, it's not going to be a good, you won't know.
No,
obviously.
No, not at this point.
But I do believe Jacoby Thomas got a real good shot at starting back at a safety spot.
I agree.
Um, and Jalen McMurray's going to be in the two deep. Right now, he might be your third guy at the corner
It
spot.
does seem that way from everything they've said. He says he's been really consistent. I think they're happy with him. I think they was happy with that pickup.
Yeah,
I think you
he's a
got two
smart guy,
starters.
but
Yeah,
he might be the least athletic of the three,
right.
possibly. And I might be talking out my tail end on that one, guys.
I think that's accurate though.
Just from what I've seen on tape.
Hmm.
Um,
So I think you gained two starters there.
yeah, lost three though,
Lost three.
but I think the two coming in were probably upgrades.
Well, I think they felt good about Jordan Thomas at the nickel and Boo Carter. I mean, I want that's the one spot that we didn't basically bring in a starter
Yeah.
from the portal.
And Jordan Thomas has been getting high marks over there when he's healthy.
Right. He's
He
just
just can't stay healthy.
right. Um, okay, the next position um, is linebacker. We lost Elijah Herring. Didn't pick up any linebacker, so I guess you have to say we downgraded there. Herring was our leading tackler last year, but uh, you know what?
With Peely getting hurt like he did,
Mhm.
and then Beasley basically playing hurt from pretty much the
I
same
think
spot
so,
in the
yeah.
year, it seemed like.
Hmm.
Herring was tossed in, and he had to be the guy making the tackles, and he just wasn't ready. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
feel
fair to
like,
him.
yeah, I agree. And he's more of a thumper. He's more of a
Mhm.
middle linebacker. And I think he's a little bit one dimensional. And I think when we went to this new coach, um, I think William Ings is values speed and versatility more so.
Well, he definitely values the speed.
Yeah,
He made that well known. And to be honest about it, Elijah Herring went from being leading tackler to whether or not he was going to be in the two deep, most likely.
yeah. Everybody in spring ball basically made it sound like he was not going to be a starter. So it's not a huge loss like some people might would think. Um, the next position, defensive line, is we lost one, game one. Uh, you lost Tyler Barron, good ball player,
Yeah.
but you gained Jackson Moy. But now you only have Tyler for one more year. You
Mhm.
got Jackson for two, it appears.
And the one year that he had coming in was at a position that we have some guys in
Right,
that we think we do anyway.
right,
And and Jackson Moore coming in at defensive tackle, yeah, he's not doing anything this year. So this year, that's a definite loss. Uh,
right.
but for next year, man, we're going to have a gaping hole at defensive tackle, and Moy being there is really critical to this team in 2025.
Right. And I think it's more of a game than what some might think because, we've got four guys competing at that strong side defensive end. Jason Jenkins, Tyree West, Tyree Weathersby, and Dominic Bailey. I firmly believe if Tyler Barron had come back, we would have lost one of those guys. So, I think you've got to think that's a win there. Um,
Well, and plus Tyler had a reputation as not being probably the best in the locker room.
right. Yeah.
Something that this staff has
That
had to deal with on a couple of defensive guys, and they do value it.
right.
It's more than just flapping the gums
Hmm.
about culture.
Right.
Um, so on to the next thing, though. Let's flip it from defense to offense, Bob. Let's look at what we lost on the offensive line.
Okay. Well, we lost Addison Nichols, uh, Mo Clipper, and Gerald Mincy. Mo Clipper was probably never going to play here. Addison Nichols, that's debatable. Uh, he seemed to have some talent, but for whatever reason, uh, just seemed to not make any progress. So I'm not sure if it wasn't just a scheme issue there or something, or a conflict with the coaches, but whatever reason, that one just wasn't going to pan out. It didn't seem
It
like.
didn't seem like no.
Uh, Now you did lose Gerald Mincy, which was a starter for you last year at right tackle, but you gained Lance Hurd, which is a sophomore, uh, former five-star player. We believe that's an upgrade and possibly a big upgrade because we should have him for 2 more years, probably.
Yeah. Um, and I think it's an upgrade at two positions myself. I think when you move John Campbell over to right tackle, I
Mm-hmm.
think you're upgrading to right tackle. And I think most likely you're upgrading at left tackle when you slide Hurd into
Yeah,
Campbell's spot.
that makes sense to me.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I agree with that, Tim. So I think offensive line is an improvement.
Agreed.
The next position is wide receiver. We didn't lose anybody in the portal. We gained uh, redshirt sophomore Chris Brazil from Tulane, and he had a really good year last year, Tim, and
Really an outstanding year.
he really did. And you know, like I said, he's a redshirt sophomore, so you should have him for 2 more years unless he lights it up, which is entirely possible in this offense. Uh, I think he's going to be competing for a starting job, so that's definitely a win there.
Well, definitely winning. You know, if you notice a common theme so far is that we've not been doing a one and done, 1 year rental of guys.
That's
Um,
right. I
we
mean, McCoy, sophomore, Jalen McMurray, junior, Jacoby Thomas, junior, Jackson Moore, junior, Lance Hurd, sophomore, Chris Brazil, redshirt sophomore. So, I mean, like you said, Tim, these are guys who got multiple years, it appears.
Yeah, the staff targeted just for that reason, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, to me, that's telling me a couple of things. They are once again concerned about culture,
Right.
um, and they want to develop guys. You know,
Right.
they're looking at a little bit of more long term. Now we did get one senior, a 1 year guy, and that's in our next position group, Bob, and that's the tight ends.
Right. We didn't lose anybody in the portal, but we did lose 2 seniors. Uh,
Gaping hole we had to fill.
we did. We had to get 2 guys. So we went out and got Holden Stays from Notre Dame. Probably a little bit of good mix there, receiving, catching, tight end.
And he was the guy they targeted pretty much from day one.
They did. I mean, they went right after him. So the fact that they went straight after him and got him, it makes you feel pretty good about
Well,
what
that's
they
that's the
thought
guy
about
they
him.
want.
Yeah. Now the guy they got later on was Miles Kitselman from Alabama. Everybody thought when they got him, it was kind of like, hey,
We need an
it's a
emergency
body.
body.
We need somebody. And they probably didn't pay a whole lot for him because he wasn't hardly anything as far as receiving threat at Alabama. But he's been the surprise probably of spring camp. I mean, he's
Well, they wanted a body, and they found out they got a player.
they do. I mean, they thought they was getting somebody, uh, or at least everybody else thought uh, that they was getting somebody that could just block.
Yeah,
But apparently he can do both.
yeah, he's been a pleasant surprise. Um, and like I said, if Ethan Davis hadn't been kind of brittle since he got here,
Hmm.
they may have never put that scholarship offer
I
out
agree
there.
with that.
But
Yeah.
they had to have a backup in case Ethan goes down again.
Right. And, Ethan, we believe has a load of talent. We do believe he's an NFL player.
I believe in the NFL. Yeah,
It's just injuries have kind of got him so far. But, he's young.
yeah.
Right. Um, so overall, Tim, what do you think? Do you think we're a better team?
Well, I think we are a better team through the portal so far, and I think most of your good teams probably are better teams coming out of the portal season. It's the bad teams that wind up losing guys they can't afford to lose
Right. I
that
mean,
really suffer from the portal.
they really do. I mean, look, we got
Well,
stole one of MTSU's best players.
yeah, but that's mid majors though. I mean,
Right.
so they ain't necessarily bad teams or poor teams.
Right.
So, but it's the mid major guys that hurt, and it's the bad major college teams
Right.
like
Right.
South Carolina and people like
Right.
that that generally are losers in the portal.
Hmm.
But the question is, did we personally? I mean, do I think we got better? I mean, obviously, you mentioned several groups. I think we definitely got better at,
Yeah.
but it all boils down probably to defensive backs. Um, it's been the weak spot for 3 years now.
Right.
Um, and I think the coaches were not upset that they lost what they lost.
I agree, man. I mean, I just feel like that they would not have let all those guys go had they thought it was the difference between wins and losses.
Hmm.
You know.
Well, they had a couple of talented freshmen that they thought was going to play,
Mm-hmm.
and they went out and got some people to move in. I mean, yeah, we don't have the depth we had, pure and simple, because I mean we get three deep, but
Right.
just not with good players, basically.
Well, everything you heard spring practice from different people, coaches, people that watch practice, secondary was more talented
Hmm.
than what they was last year.
Yeah,
Nobody debated that. And more athletic, faster. Can they put it together?
yeah, and they're going to be busts this year.
Right.
They will be bust, and there'll be times, but they look like freshmen and sophomores, newcomers. But that said, we're going to see more speed out there. We're going to see more athleticism out there, and I expect the defense to take another step forward. It's taking a step forward every single year.
Right.
Easy to do when the way it was that first year. Uh, but I think this defense this year could be really potentially dominant, depending on how these secondary guys step up.
I agree 100%. I think at times we will be dominant. Um, well, Tim, I think that's about it for tonight. You know, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell, guys. And go Vols.
Go Big Orange.